Hi guys, everybody. Today we're gonna talk about how to make friends in Germany, especially German friends. Well, after being here for 4.5 years, in the beginning I did make a lot of international friends who are foreigners living in Germany, but now I really wanted to get deeper and get more localized. That to get more make more German friends. But however, it hasn't been that easy and straightforward than I expected.
Why? What was the problem? How did the Germans behave?
Yeah, I would say the problem is twofold. Firstly, is the language is definitely a barrier. Like for example, I get into a group of Germans, they all speaking German. I wouldn't want them to switch to English because of me. But if I speak German, I sound super clumsy, and part of my personality is lost in translation. And secondly, I notice in a city like in Stuttgart, a lot of the locals they are from here, they study here, they work here, they already have their own existing social circles. If they're not that motivated, or they don't have that much capacity to open for new people. So these are my challenges here.
Yeah. So yeah, there are different ways to find people here in Germany, especially in South Germany. So I would say, first of all, you could always try to get more into touch with your colleagues. So if you have the feeling like your colleagues, they're open-minded, and they also would join maybe a after work dinner or going out for after work drink. So don't be shy, just invite them and see how they are reacting. So if they are willing to come with you, if they are rejecting it. So I mean, it's always good to start with the colleagues, because the colleagues, you see them frequently.
On that note, Stefan, what is the culture here in Germany? Is work life and personal life clearly separated, or is it more like people make friends with their colleagues as well? I can remember when I was working in London, it is super usual to ask to go for a beer after work with your colleagues at a pub next to the office.
Yeah.
But here I sense that is people want to go home to see their family. But I don't know, what is the case here?
I would say it really depends on your colleagues. So that you cannot generalize here that Germans are always the same. It really depends on the colleagues. It also depends on the working atmosphere. Do you feel like people have a close relationship to each other? But I would rather say that Germans, they have the tendency to separate the life. So it's rather like separating than having friends and colleagues at the same time at work. So it's a bit sad, because it's more difficult for people from abroad like you are. But yeah, as I said, always try first of all the colleagues, because you see them frequently, and that's like the first option I would go for.
Yeah, and aside from workplace, do you have any other suggestions?
Yeah. So the second thing I would recommend is joining a club here. So for example, the sports clubs, they are pretty common here in Germany. For example, you could join a tennis club or a football club. I mean, just take the sports you prefer to do, and then look for a club in your city. So even in the small cities, there are these kind of clubs existing. So even in the small, I would call it villages already. They are not cities anymore. Even there, you can find these kind of clubs.
Absolutely, I see that these sports clubs or hobby clubs here in Germany is something very special. I see that this is where people outside of their existing social circles, where they meet new people.
Yeah.
And like you have different type of clubs here, from tennis, volleyball, to fishing clubs, to hiking clubs, to even theater
even shooting.
groups.
even shooting. We have here shooting. So
the Germans take their hobbies very seriously. I think.
Yeah. So and you can do it in this kind of clubs. If you're more into dancing, art, especially in big cities. So I'm talking about cities with at least, I would say, more than 100,000 inhabitants. You find all kind of clubs.
That's no big city in China. Yeah, the cities here are a little bit smaller, let's say. But big cities like Berlin, more than 1 million inhabitants, and Munich, they are the big cities, and there you find pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Let's say, Stefan, I am inside of a shooting club now, and for the first time, and I'm about to introduce myself to some strangers that are nice-looking, friendly strangers, German strangers. What are the easy topics to talk about to break the ice?
Yeah. So I think when you're talking like the typical stuff. So don't be too serious. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about religion. Just talk about, what's going on here at the moment. Personally, I don't like to talk about the weather, but that's something.
But do people talk about weather at all?
Yeah, they are talking too much about the weather, in my opinion.
But isn't it a nice sort of a painless topic?
It's
whatever topic.
Yeah, it's something you could start with, but me personally, I like more to talk about personal topics.
Is it appropriate to ask, what do you do here in Germany?
You can do it. If you have the feeling like that's a good starting point to start a proper conversation. So imagine, so you are working for a car producer, and maybe the guy you are talking to, he's also working in this kind of industry, and then it's already good starting point to have something in common. So to have a common topic you can talk about, or you have a child. So I guess you're also meeting other parents, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Since I become a parent myself, I do bring this up quite often. So I think there's a natural connection point to the others. Just talk about our kids. Hey, what's your baby's name? How old is he or she? Something like that. It's like a natural topic to talk about, and it's an easy topic as well. Is it okay to ask about the age?
Yeah, when it comes to the age, it really depends who are you talking to. So my personal feeling is when the people are younger, so meaning maybe below 35, then of course you can ask. But the older the people are, the more they have the tendency not to talk about the age anymore. so okay. I don't know how it is in China, but that's how it is.
We don't talk, especially you don't ask a lady's age in China.
Yeah, here
it's a taboo.
Yeah.
Especially you sense that she's probably older than 30, you don't ask the age.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Here also, whenever you have the feeling like the age might differ from the real age, or the way the person looks like differs a lot from the actual age, then it's it's always a bit risky.
When it's appropriate to ask them their contact numbers, their WhatsApp numbers?
That's again a good question. So here I wouldn't do it too quickly, to be honest.
You mean like the first few meetings you don't do that? What if you don't see them again?
Yeah, that's really that's really a good question. So I think it's pretty important to have a feel like, was it just kind of small talk I had with this kind of person, or did we had some topics in common we both wanted to discuss in more detail about it? And then, I mean, then it's always okay to ask, could I get your number? Maybe let's meet again, because I like to talk about this topic. Apparently you enjoy it as well. So maybe let's meet for a coffee. Let's meet for a drink to discuss about it again. But if
I sense that the Germans, they need time to warm up, to open up. But once they do, they really do open up to you, and they will probably be your lifelong friends. And what are the signs that when a German are really open up to you and accept you as a friend?
So I think there are several signs. So first of all, you have like the feeling this person is interested in you. he's asking questions. So how
doesn't hate you terribly.
So he's actively talking to you. So you have the feeling like he's having really some interest. So point number one. Then also the second point, he's inviting you. So wouldn't you like to join here? Wouldn't you like to join there? Do you not want to come around? We're gonna do maybe a barbecue. Do you want to join? So I think that's also something. We Germans are different from other cultures because we do not invite the people so quickly. Maybe you have already made this kind of experience.
Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't happen that fast. It takes time to sort of, but it's always helpful when you know a German very well, and then through him you know another one, his friend or her friend. And then they invite each other together, and then you sort of just get introduced to the circle. That's more natural, I would say. Well, we're just speaking from our own experiences, because I think there are different types of Germans, and especially I find that Germans who have lived abroad and who have a lot of contact to foreign culture, they're sort of naturally more drawn to meet foreigners and to be their friends. I think these are the easier case to sort of be friends with.
Of course.
And maybe through them, then you can go to more hardcore part of the German community.
I mean, the question is always.
So far, I haven't been bridged that gap yet.
I mean, the question is always, which kind of Germans do you want to meet? I mean, if you just want to meet the open-minded Germans, then it might be then it might be easy for you. But do you also want to get more into touch with the Germans who are maybe not even able to speak English? But as you said, it's always a good start to find these open-minded Germans who are always welcoming international people.
Yeah, I'll say to conclude a little bit that I've moved to different cities and different countries many times. It is kind of, the first few months is really overwhelming. It's really kind of lonely because you don't really know anybody. You have to start from scratch. You're out of your comfort zone. But I think it's important to take the first step, to invite people out, to ask them, hey, what do you do this weekend? But I know it gets really uncomfortable sometimes because you feel vulnerable. That what if they say no? What if they reject me? Wouldn't I look like an idiot here? You know, but after I've done it so many times, I get better at it, and I get more sort of expand my horizons through these experiences.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, one thing I would conclude. Don't be too frustrated in the beginning if you have like the feeling that Germans, they are really more distant. So keep going, keep asking them, and if you have the feeling like maybe the ones I asked they are not interested, then just go for the next ones, and don't be too frustrated too quickly. Yeah.
Absolutely, I think it's a try and error, hit and miss. It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And I hope you liked today's episode, and please don't forget to subscribe. to our.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments what was your kind of experience, which kind of question failed when we're asking Germans to do something together. Yeah, let us share your experience if you are already trying to make friends in Germany. And yeah,
Definitely, we would like to hear your stories. And if you have any questions regarding living in Germany, you can also leave your comments, and we will try to answer that in our next episode.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.